I'm Ryan from Barbell PT Performance, and today I'm joined by our client Rob. So, Rob, could you just tell us a little bit about like what had been going on with your training and your injury prior to reaching out to us?
Yeah, so I do powerlifting and strongman, and about 2 years ago, I started getting like real bad sciatica all the way down my right leg into my shin and stuff. I kind of went to a chiropractor and went to a massage therapist and that kind of thing for a while. Started feeling a little bit better. Then I did a powerlifting meet, and on my last deadlift, I set the bar down and I stood up, and all of a sudden I had pain shooting down both my legs, and I couldn't stand up all the way. My back hurt so bad. Then, for about a month, I was basically bedridden. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even breathe or anything without just having horrible pain in my lower back and down my right leg mostly. Uh, Dealt with that for a long time. Stopped working out completely, or stopped doing lower body completely for about 3 months. Kind of started squatting again and tried like the BPC 157, TB 500, massages, chiropractor. Uh, couldn't really like try physical therapy at a normal physical therapist place because just my schedule's so crazy for the most part. But I tried every YouTube video I could find for like physical therapy for like herniated disc or sciatica or something like that. I never got imaging done, so I don't know if I had a herniated disc or anything, but I know it hurt really bad.
Yeah, man. I guess the only silver lining from that is that it happened after your third attempt for deadlift instead of like first attempt on your squats or something like that, man.
Oh, for sure. I would have quit for I couldn't do anything after.
That's fair. So when you were trying to like rehab it on your own, like searching stuff on YouTube and social media and trying like the peptides and all that, how much progress did you see from those like strategies or efforts, and what do you feel like have been missing that made you not get back to like 100% through that stuff?
Man, I don't think I got anything from the peptides at all.
Hmm.
And I've used them before for like torn muscles and that kind of thing. It seemed to, I don't know if it made a difference or not,
Hmm.
but like I did the McGill Big Three and every kind of stretch I could find on YouTube and stuff, but I couldn't really, I guess, prioritize it, or I didn't know how to progress it or anything. So whenever I stopped working out my lower body, it kind of gave me some relief for a while. And then as soon as I would start back again, I would start getting sciatica real bad, or I'd get excruciating back bumps.
Hmm.
So I ended up switching to sumo on deadlift, which kind of helped. I could do like powerlifting as long as I didn't push it too hard. But I also started struggling real bad on hitting depth on my squats. So
Okay.
it was kind of like I wasn't progressing on anything. I was just kind of able to maintain at points, then have to back off again, and then every time I'd hit a certain point, it would just stop everything. So I started feeling good again, and then I signed up for a strongman competition. In about a month into prep, started getting real bad sciatica down my leg again,
Hmm.
and that's whenever I found y'all on Instagram and talked to you for a while, and decided to sign up, which was really scary because there's no copay or anything, but it's made a huge difference. I'm able to, you know, go fishing and kayaking, and still I can do conventional deadlifts now. I can
Awesome,
actually,
man.
I'm hitting depth on squats better than I ever have in my life.
Can't be that. That's pretty good progress for the first just couple months.
Yeah.
Um, so like back when the injury was still really limiting your training, like couldn't pull conventional, limiting the squat depth, all that sort of stuff. Um, for you, like what is it about powerlifting and strongman that's really important? And like how is this injury kind of affecting you like headspace wise, like mentally, emotionally, stuff like that?
Uh, so I got really depressed whenever it happened. I was kind of thinking that my strength career was over. I mean, not really a career, but my adventures in strength training were over, and I was kind of thinking I was just gonna have to be an old man and hobble around everywhere, and I didn't think I was ever gonna be able to move again.
That's gonna be tough, man, especially like coming from such a big kind of lifting background. So yeah, like you're saying, you had tried a couple things to rehab this, both like on your own and through some like other means with like the peptides and all that. Um, what was that like turning point for you where you're like, I gotta try something different, and then you like came across us and figured that we might be kind of a good shot for you?
The turning point was this last prep for that strongman competition.
Hmm.
I signed up for it because it was an elevated deadlift, and
Mm.
I thought that maybe I'd be able to do I was able to power through the pain, which probably wasn't a good idea because it caused a lot more damage in the long run. But I don't know. I just really like competing, and whenever that started hitting me real hard again, I had to back off completely. I couldn't I couldn't do the log press hardly because you have to bend down to grab the log, and every time I would
Mm.
try to clean the log, it would just start sending shooting pain down my leg. I mean, it was going all the way down to my toes.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you reach out to us. We obviously had that consultation call, ended up kind of signing up to work with us. Um, can you kind of like go over what your experience has been like working with Dr. Alex so far? Because he's been the one kind of programming for you and coaching you and all that.
Yeah. It's been great. I mean, he's been super helpful. Uh, a lot of the stuff, like I didn't understand why he'd have me doing something. And I would just kind of talk to him and he would explain it a little bit. It still wouldn't click for a long time. Then I'd be like in the middle of a workout and then I'd be like, oh, now I know. Like just random things. Like all of a
Mm.
sudden, uh, like the pain would kind of transfer up my leg a little bit or something like that.
Mhm.
Or so for a long time I was struggling because I'd have that was it that tension down my ankle, and I didn't know if that was like just the sciatica and it was never moving or what the deal is. And then I talked to, I mean, both you and him, and y'all are like, "Oh, that's nerve tension because it's been stuck like that for so long."
Mhm.
And I started to understand it, and that started going away eventually. That's made a huge improvement in my mood and attitude towards everything.
Awesome, man. I'm happy to hear that. So I know that you said that like now you're able to like hit depth on squats a lot better than before, have gotten back to like conventional pulling, all that sort of stuff. What other things have you been able to like get back to in training, either like numbers wise or like movement wise, stuff like that?
One of the most shocking things for me is just following like his bench press program. My bench press is doing amazing.
Hell yeah.
And that's because I've, I've torn both of my pecs.
Mhm.
And I didn't talk to y'all about that. I mean, they're healed, but I was always kind of babying that.
Mhm.
And now, I mean, my bench press is doing great.
What have
And
you hit for bench recently?
uh, say my best one. So he had me doing Larson press for a long time to try
Yeah.
to keep the tension off of my back.
Mhm.
And I think I did 3 sets of 8 with 275 paused Larsons.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that made me feel like I'd probably be back in the 400s before long on my bench
Yeah.
press.
Oh, for sure. And then what sort of like numbers have you gotten back to for like squatting and deadlifting and all that?
I think I did 3 sets of 8 on squats for 330. They're pretty easy.
Mhm.
I had at one time a 705 wrapped squat, and then I haven't been. We just started progressing to off the ground deadlifts, like a
Nice.
9 inch deadlift,
Mhm.
and I'm doing sets of 8 on that with in the 200s still, but paused and no pain at all.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's great progress for the first couple months, man. Um, for you, I know that you said that obviously it was kind of like scary, like signing up to work with us, or a little bit nerve-wracking just due to the um, lack of insurance coverage and all that. But like, what are your thoughts about like that side of things since kind of going through this the first couple months and kind of seeing the progress you've made so far?
So at first I was kind of freaking out about it. I knew that I needed to do it, so I just powered through it and did it. My wife, she really freaked out. She's like, "You have insurance. Why are you doing this?" And we kind of did the math with it and everything. And honestly, I think it's cheaper than using insurance at a normal physical therapist.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much it can cost out of pocket between like deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance, all that sort of stuff.
Hmm. I know the last time I did physical therapy, I think I was paying $75 copay every visit. And that was
Mhm.
only twice a week for, maybe 30 minutes, and it's just real generic stuff
Yeah.
for, I mean, like a month. And I think I paid, almost the same amount for 4 months of this.
Mhm.
And I'm getting 5 days a week physical therapy through y'all. And I mean, I can do it on my own schedule, and it's a lot more in depth with everything. And y'all have been super helpful the whole time.
Awesome,
Anytime
man.
I'm having an issue, I can just text y'all and be, hey, I have a question, and it's it's been way better than a normal physical therapist.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm glad that you've had a really good experience working with Alex so far. For you, like if you were talking to like a lifter that you knew who was also dealing with a similar injury, and they were maybe like thinking about working with us, but were kind of like on the fence, not so sure, like what would you say to them, Rob?
I would say just do it if you want to get back to training and back to being competitive. And it's worth every penny.
Awesome, man. Well, again, I appreciate you taking the time out to talk with me today. I'm really happy to hear about the progress you've been having and how you've been liking the program, and I'm sure that you and Alex will be making some more progress pretty soon too.